All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the GG.Bet Invitational. Semifinal action coming at you. We got our final day of action in total. We got our semifinals taking place here today. This is the second semifinals. The first one was actually played yesterday. This will be to determine who plays NIP that is currently waiting in the grand finals for this ultimate $50,000 prize pool. It's been a fun week of Dota so far, and excited to be here once again. A little bit earlier than usual, start to today, but we're kicking it off with Lithium versus ex-ferzee, now known as Gambit, as of a couple of days ago even. And that is right, it is early. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by DeMoN. Early for us, not necessarily for the Europeans, I suppose, but here we go.
I wasn't bored, man. I was just
still trying to see. Now it actually is early in these past week. Been suggesting that, but
been telling you this whole week, preparing for this moment.
This moment here.
Yeah, it's really early in the morning right now, Breaky.
I got my coffee though.
Not me, man. Just drinking water.
Straight water, homie. Yeah, there was a fun event that took place last night. I'm sure many people know what we're referring to.
What happened? I'm a closet gamer here.
Yeah, I don't know. Just some random fight that happened.
Like some sort of brawl or something?
Some brawl. Yeah, you could go to the internet, go to Google, type in brawl. I'm sure it'll show up. No, but anyways, let's focus here. You know, there's a big thing here that's talk about also. Lithium versus Gambit. Now, Gambit's been using some VP players here the last couple of matches as replacements or stand-ins even. Today they are their full roster. Alpha9 is back. However, Lithium, apparently Mage was AFK. They couldn't get a hold of him, their normal mid player. So they were just like, we'll just take a TI winner. We'll just pick up Thompson as a result. So first time we get to see Thompson since TI. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen OG in a while, and at least you got one-fifth of an OG here. And it's pretty interesting how well he'll mesh in with Team Lithium. I mean, what better stand-in can you get than a TI winner himself, right?
It's pretty good. It's a pretty good deal. Now, again, they literally figured this out like as the match was starting here, from the looks of it. So they probably just messaged Thompson. I mean, obviously some of these guys have messaged him before. You talked to them plenty, played with him even, and just simply asked him, "Hey, you want to stand in?" So I happen to be available. So a little bit of a special surprise, I suppose.
Yeah.
All right, we got the picks though. We got a Winter Wyvern first pick. Earthshaker Pugna response, and now the Drow's strat is here.
10 seconds
in this case for Lithium.
It's coming back at you. I mean, it's pretty good.
5 seconds remaining.
First Pugna, because you have this high range, and you're able to, like, I kind of have a hero that also looks into killing the Pugna ward, sort of, but not really at the same time. But Pugna isn't the most ideal hero over Drow. I mean, I always still find it very interesting, you know, KheZu transition from just an ordinary pub player, gets picked up by, like, Team Secret, and was playing off lane, you know, things happen, got removed off the team, has been kind of putting himself back out there for quite some time, and here he is now captaining a team that has a lot of potential here, so it's really good to see that from him. You know, you don't really often see a captain and drafter that is playing from the offlane position these days. True. It's usually, like, if anything, maybe it's rare, like it's mid player. Generally, it's a support player, you know. I should say support players are generally easier to help dictate the game and whatnot. But overall, like, you know, KheZu's proving them haters wrong.
His story is not to make him out to be, obviously he hasn't had the success as a Thompson, just from what just happened here with TI, but it is somewhat similar in that sense, right, where he was kind of just a streamer. Now, in his case, he did come from Heroes of New Earth, so one of those players as well, and he was just grinding, you know, grinding his own, being a little bit of a streamer on the side as well, and kind of just grew up, as you said, throughout that, and eventually was reached out to this big break as Secret. The season played out there, went to TI and everything, but it's a very smart player when it comes to Dota as well. He has his educational videos and everything. He likes to teach the community. He's a friendly guy, at least in my opinion, and got a chance to hang out with him plenty. So, yeah, I'm still hoping for that success when it comes to KheZu, and, you know, maybe this team here, it's the beginning of the season. It has potential, of course, you know, with Mage instead of Thompson obviously included.
He dropped the extra Z in the underscore, so he's a changed man.
Oh, yeah.
All right, it used to
He
be
used
double
to
Z's.
he used to have 2 Z's and then then underscore. You're right.
Underscore, so he removed it. You know, he's changed,
He's
man.
growing up.
He's growing up, man. And, you know, we always made fun of Hippomaniacs, Curry, Tiny, and here we go again with the ex-ferzee Vanscore Bane.
Yeah.
It's the limited hero pool, as we call it. It's hype.
Just likes this hero slash just playing it a lot recently.
They let Ogre free here. Ogre's a pretty good pick.
With the Drow Strat, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of an obvious pick with the Winter Wyvern pickup as well. I guess I thought Phoenix was going to be picked, but I guess it was banned. Just double checking there.
Remaining.
Come on, it's too early in the morning here.
Oh, yeah. No, that's going to happen plenty
5 seconds
at this
remaining.
point. Gambit, I like their bans, though. You have the Invoker and the Arc Warden ban. You know, obviously both heroes that Thompson's amazing at, slash it is a Drow Strat after all. Want to get rid of those, so.
Well, I think based on watching Thompson for the past TI.
Because we didn't know he existed before then, yeah.
I mean, he was out there.
I
He
know.
made some Reddit threads, only a couple.
Couple plays here and there.
But
10
he's
seconds
most comfortable
remaining.
when it comes to like
Dire team back.
his hero pool for the most part. There it is already, Morphling. I think that's definitely his hero there.
Oh, yeah?
So I don't think he has the widest hero selection pool, but you know, once he's in his comfort zone, comfort heroes, he'll thrive and generally just, you know, kind of take control over the game. And I think Morphling is one of his better heroes.
10 seconds
Very good
remaining.
Morphling game too. I mean, you have Pugna Ward, we have
5
Bane, not really.
seconds remaining.
Earthshaker, Pugna and Earthshaker, and I guess Terrorblade too.
Terrorblade is a big one, too, I think.
The
Yeah.
meta interaction will be interesting, right? With the Morphling?
Yeah.
Switching back, extra DPS, extra range, be able to have
Radiant
some illusions,
team
and of course, conjure images as well.
Oh, yeah. No, we see this match. I think I've been told before. I mean, you can almost consider Morphling a decent counter to Terrorblade when there isn't a whole lot right now. Obviously, that comes to the table, so.
Don't forget that Morphling does have the Drow aura, so when he switches over to
True.
meta, he's going to get like an insane amount of bonus damage, like triple
10
damage. And you pick a
seconds
double
remaining.
damage, oh my god, quadruple,
It just
0.5.
the exponent,
5
and you got
seconds
Bloodlust on
remaining.
top of that. I mean, it just keeps going, man.
And then Vlad. No one's going to get
Radiant
Vlad, so
team
it
pick.
doesn't seem like. Ogre generally doesn't get Vlads, but who
Probably
knows?
not. But then you get a Vengeful Spirit on top of this with your final pick, and he's just enhanced like crazy.
Craigasm.
Probably not going to be that. They need some kind of offlaner that is again, potentially that front laner is a term we like to use often, especially when you have a Drow strategy. You never want to go too all in on the Drow.
10
I mean,
seconds
Ogre, sure, he
remaining.
kind of fits that bill, but he's your main support. So an offlaner that can get in there, initiate,
5 seconds
cause
remaining.
chaos, something like a Brewmaster with the Primal Split comes to mind. But
He's banned out already.
is he banned?
unfortunately.
Okay,
Yeah.
look at that. Well, they were thinking the same thing.
Yeah, they really don't have much aside from kind of Earthshaker to jump onto
Dire team
this Drow. They need someone that has like some sort of strong like frontliner that can kind of get into his face. I mean, that's where Drow is just gonna dish out so much damage if not.
You know, so they go Batrider. KZU does like to play this hero often. It's not necessarily that beefy hero on the front lines. It is an initiator, though, of course. So
Actually, that was kind
10
of surprising
seconds
because I mean,
remaining.
this bat is actually a really good pick here. That they banned
5
Brewmaster, but
seconds
you know you
remaining.
have a Terrorblade in your lane, in your safe lane, and Batrider is one of the better heroes that does generally pretty well versus him. And especially you have an Ogre as well. You're gonna have a bloodlusted Batrider here
flying
running in
around.
at you, and
Sounds
mean,
scary.
I would go Ignite in the lane, but you know, do the 1-1-1 build possibly, or like 1-2 build, just because I think the slow. Well, you kind of need the stun in case they TP, but I think the slow stacks very well with the sticky. These heroes are going to be unable to move. Like I'd say, who cares about playing Batrider a lot back in my days. Doesn't matter how many stickies you generally stack for these heroes. It's just if you stack enough. He gets these sticks, it won't matter. Even though he's going to regen like that 150 HP, you're just going to run him over regardless, especially with an Ogre Magi. And the support that you're going to have is a Bane. And what's Bane going to do? Sleep him?
Yeah, sleep, which can be taken off by the other, of course. And it's going to be a tough task, it seems like. So you almost want to say Gambit may just look to avoid that altogether somehow and match up differently. But naturally, Lithium, I'm sure, will respond. So it's going to be some interesting musical lanes potentially coming out in the early game. Last pick. They get Brooded. Brood versus Drow. We have it again. God, didn't we see this? We saw this in a match recently.
That was such a good pick too.
You like it?
Yeah, I like that pick a lot. I mean,
Against a Bat Rider? Because now Bat Rider potentially could be decent against a Brood, though, right? As far as the lane, but
yeah, but the thing is, like, Bat wants to be matched up with Terrorblade in the ideal scenario. I mean, Brood can honestly go anywhere. He does well versus everything, and it really comes down to this Winter Wyvern. Because is Pexu their 5?
he is usually their 5. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, and then so it comes down to this Winter Wyvern having his early levels because he can nullify this Brood and delay his game a little bit. He can get quite some farm as well if he gets his fast Tranquils into Soul Ring or this Arcane Boot, so he can just,
10 seconds remaining.
de-push him constantly. And unless, of course, just
5
kill all of his
seconds
Spiderlings,
remaining.
most of them.
The Broodmother final pick. Choosing not to ban it. What did they ban instead? I don't remember. I was using the Broodmaster.
Warden?
No, that was a ban by Gambit. God, the final ban. It was maybe Invoke. No, it wasn't Invoker. It was Lena. I'm just saying shit now. We'll find out eventually. Either way.
Back to the game.
Final pick, Brood. There we go. Aphanine going to get his hands on Pugna, though. It's going to be Afterlife. Yeah, playing the Broodmother. Aphanine, good to see him back. Again, is a great player, and he's been definitely made his own flashy plays himself. Just happens to.
What do you call him?
Apho9. Apho Ninja.
Ninja.
We went over this. It's not
Yeah.
Afro Ninja.
Afo Ninja.
Afo Ninja. I mean, I suppose you could pronounce it like that, yeah. Afo Ninja.
Sounds we'll ask him after this game. We'll see.
No, we won't.
I will.
Okay,
I have
if
no-
you can get
I-
confirmation from me.
I have no shame here, man.
Afo Ninja. I got a little bit. I'm probably going to pronounce it like 10 different ways during the game, but
Since Hypomaniacs are gone, huh? You gotta find something to swap
Yeah.
around here.
Thompson level 13 on that Morphling.
Oh gosh.
Cozy hero for him.
All-star pub player and TI winner.
is gonna sting.
Wonderful.
Casually stepping in. Now, obviously, Gambit can't say anything because they did use VP players.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. I mean, it's gonna be a pleasure watching Thompson play Morphling.
It is. Again, we literally haven't seen him play since TI. Like, OG has not played since TI. We don't even know if they're actually going to have the same 5-man roster. There hasn't even been confirmation yet, if that's the case. So,
I'm sure they will stick together. Unless
good
they pull
possibility.
Unless they pull a PPD and kick TI.
Move to Europe? Oh.
No. No, PPD kicked AUI after.
Oh, that whole
I can't
incident,
You can't
yes.
just blame that guy, but just
Yeah. Well, there's rumor about like Ada perhaps kind of just retiring almost again in a sense of stopping to play for the time being, but I don't know. I don't have hard resources / evidence to
30 seconds
say there's any
to
truth
bat.
to that by any means.
Yeah.
The fact they haven't officially announced, though, it is a little telling, I think, of something potentially could be there.
Come on, they're like traveling the world or something together. There's recent Instagram posts.
I mean, Thompson's clearly playing Dota. Though.
Yeah.
It's on today. So.
He's been playing a lot of Artifact too. I've seen him out there.
Oh, look at you. Mr. I have access to artifacts.
It'll be
Seen
released.
him on.
It'll be released soon, man.
Oh, inside information? Coming out soon? You know what day?
I mean, they said it was going to be released in October, open beta. So
Oh, did they? Okay. Thompson,
he
he's
might die here.
trouble?
Oh,
Okay.
sorry.
Why do we pick this guy up again? Just going to feed?
Oh gosh.
Oh, he just got caught, man. I mean, he got, there's a war. He placed that ward, right? No, wait. I'm saying
No,
that's
it was
entire
just
ward.
securing the bounty runes, and he paid heavily for it, unfortunately. And he is going against his Broodmother. He's not going to have a fun game.
So, yeah, Keizo and Bat Rider is top lane. We mentioned Brood in the mid versus Morphling.
Yeah.
So they want the matchup against Terrorblade, but yeah, it doesn't seem like Morphling's going to fare too well in this. Or I won't be able to stop now. No one can really truly stop a Broodmother, but
Nice block here on bottom lane.
Darth's having to go around, see the trees. It's good, but rough start. Clearly, Earthshaker and Pugna are going to be a nuisance to Madara here on the Drow.
Ogre Bloodlusted. Bloodlust for spell. It's just going to whack these supports down.
Interesting. Yeah, I feel like we usually see that Fire Blast lately.
No, I think this Bloodlust is really good.
Is it?
Yeah.
Does he have Orb of Venom? No.
No, Stout Shield. They can't touch him. This 10 armor.
So yeah, he just doesn't care. Typical Ogre Magi. Whacking him with that shovel.
This mid lane will be interesting, like I said. Top Sun's doing really well right now, getting these early denies, which delays the game for Brood a bit. You know, he wants to get this 3 to really build up his spider army, so he's going to be capable of like jungling more effectively, if anything, and also constantly pushing in the lane.
Keizu hitting level 2 there, so now he has that combo, the Sticky Napalm and the Firefly. Have to respect that. Dire team up there. A little bit of rotations coming out. I guess 2-minute rune going to spawn, and sure enough, it's going to be an illusion rune. King R will pick it up.
A lot of pressure here on this TB. It's top lane.
Yeah. He's already used his Metamorphosis. Oh, cooldown. Did Vansker overstep? No. Looks good.
I actually think they could have killed him there, possibly.
Yeah, it seemed like that was a potential.
I guess he didn't have his Q or his Arctic Burn here on Winter Wyvern.
Oh, okay. It was still on cooldown. Gotcha.
I mean, this top lane, like I said, this Bat Rider is going to snowball. Should snowball really well. Like, shouldn't have a game here at all.
Does he go the Blink first, you think? Or maybe, like, we see drums occasionally, even like a Force Staff.
I mean, they're both, no, the drums into Blink or just rushing Blink is the most ideal. Like, bottle Blink or drums into Blink is the most ideal. You don't go Force Staff. You need initiation for this Brood. And the thing is, it's like with Lithium's lineup, as like the game progresses, this Brood Brother, they're gonna have 2 sorts of control for him, which is like to delay his BKB, which is the Winter's Curse and the Bat Rider Lasso.
Are fortified.
Remember, I always talk about whenever you play Brood, you need some sort of BKB piercing spells.
Okay.
Otherwise, this guy just goes out of control. He's gonna hit a point in the game where he snowballs because he has accelerated farm with, you know, farming all the ancients and neutrals. He's going to be over leveled. He farms like his diffusal and BKB timing, and it's just going to create havoc, chaos.
So look at this last hit and deny in the middle lane. 29 and 14 Morphling versus a 10 and 3 Brood.
It's an offlane player versus a TI winning player. So
I mean, yeah, here we are suspecting Brood's going to have a really good time, and no, not the case, but perhaps that skill is definitely kicking in. Not even a question, really. I think it's safe to say. Thompson very comfortable on this matchup, and that is a fair point. Technically an offlane player in Afterlife.
It's actually really interesting. I've never seen a Brood get destroyed this hard.
This is Brood actually getting... It's not even that she's getting locked down, it's just he's just doing amazing. 18 to 9.
He is honestly almost flawless lane
Is that
control
almost
here.
perfect, I was going to say?
Yeah, it's flawless. And he has a mask, Morbid Mask, coming up now as well to have a little bit more sustain in the lane.
I mean...
He's almost level 6, and Brood's barely level 4 here.
Gave them false hope with that first blood, and here he is, as Vansker doing what he does.
Just.
I swear, he does it at least once a game. We watch these Gambit games throughout this week.
Little small donation for the Radiant.
Yeah. Now to clarify, I had to clarify this with the gods that it's a bug in terms of the tax. It's not 134 gold each player.
Oh yeah, it's
that's
split.
just split.
It's split evenly. Yeah.
So, because we were talking, I'm like, is it really worth it? That's like 800 gold, and he's like, no, it's just, it's an error in the text because the way it makes it sound.
Yeah, that'd be broken.
So that's what was a little confusing to me there, but got some clarification, so we're good.
3 bounty runes also picked up by Lithium here too.
Even better start now. The overall, it's slight under 1,000 net worth, but again, this Morphling. Obviously, we have to keep in mind there is a Drow on this team after all, but it really doesn't feel like that should be allowing him to just snowball this crazy
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Either way, yeah, it's just almost sitting here in awe just how this is one of the most dominating performances as far as CS goes in the mid lane. Seen in a while.
You can kill these spiral. Oh shit.
Top lane, a little back and forth. Vansker, he's dead. Terrorblade just has to watch. Not much more he can do. There's that combo. There's the bottle, by the way, on Bat Riders you're mentioning.
This is where Brood's starting to pressure this Morphling just a little bit.
Earthshaker's coming in, but I think Thompson spotted that. There's the ward here after all. So, just gets back for now. gonna head over.
He has a huge army right now, so it's a little difficult for him. Oh.
KingR might be dead. Unless Brew can do something about it, but I was gonna say KingR is the one that's in trouble actually. Adaptive Strike not gonna come out and tops in. Oof. Every time I see Morphling get low like that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Trying to regen off the Ancients there, but...
Doxock, he'll TP away. He TP's over to the Shrine. Gonna pop that. As that was his only play there. If he doesn't TP, he is dead, so.
I'm surprised how much farm terribly he still has, though. He's done fairly well. He's matched the same CS as the Bat Rider.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely impressive. And is that to the fault of the Radiant side? Are they not playing aggressive enough against him, or is that just?
I didn't watch the lane entirely. I thought it was a one lane because he was being really pressured after he used the first meta, and after whatever meta's not up, then it's just like there should be a kill potential lane. I'm not really sure how they controlled the lane there.
Well, either way, going decent for him. So, yeah, this Brood has also started to take him a little bit. Obviously, he's been jungling a fair amount as well. So that's the good news for Gambit. Could even be better as bottom lane. Ogre takes off the sleep. Drow took it back. Ogre's dead. And now Drow might be. Almost could have been a disaster right there. But at least it's just Ogre that dies. So he's a sacrifice. And as Thompson goes down middle lane, caught that as he's getting this one spider right. It takes him out. Finishes the job right there.
Like
so.
lingering damage or something? Because there's that spider popped out in the last, like he was morphing down when he waved. That's what happened. And he still was taking damage. That was a weird interaction, actually.
Got a little funky there. Bottom lane, they were diving the Drow, but now with Bat Rider especially being here, the Flame Break doesn't stop TP anymore. It's been a while, but it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, because the spiderlings do poison sting damage.
Yeah, so the dive.
Yeah, and he was changing down to 0.
That's a middle tower kill for the Brood, so it's actually...
This Brood's already back in the game, man. That's why I was like thinking, I was like, man, this Morphling shouldn't dominate that hard, right?
Yeah.
Because there comes a point where when he builds his army, this Morphling doesn't really have an answer for it. I mean, it's not really, this is the nature of the hero, right? He doesn't have any wave clear.
Yeah. So I guess you break it down, with the early Drow aura somewhat, and then being that single target where Brood's not necessarily too powerful yet. The denies kind of makes sense.
The problem was I think the mistake here was maybe next time MNT needed to move over, rotate to mid when he was building his army just to like eliminate half of the spiders that he has, because Morphling can only do so much. I mean, he's not going for the max waveform build, he's going for the max DPS, which is like going full adaptive strike.
Okay. Every time, man. Oh, Madara. I'm just watching. It's just a pleasure to watch Thompson on the Morphling, honestly, but they catch Madara in the bottom lane.
Thompson's doing it again. He gets really low. It's just right-clicking these, just fighting these spiders.
Got to be careful with that poison, though.
Yeah. He's living life on the edge here.
That he is. That's what Morphling players do. Sometimes it backfires, as we've already seen this game, but...
I feel this Earthshaker should just play around mid, like smoke mid or something. I think you're going to be able to feed off this Morphling quite a bit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
at the
attack.
bottom, maybe next time gets away.
He's always like relatively low. If you get one stun with the spiderlings, he's just going to get bursted down.
That's another tower kill for the entire team as well, as they kill the bottom tier one. So with the mid dead, the bottom dead. This overall Gambit, again, their cores are both farming very well. Terrorblade especially is maybe even the surprising one. The fact that he is doing a good job. As he's now jungling some Ancients. Middle lane. And wrapping around the sleep. They're collapsing big time. 4 heroes coming together. Thompson's in trouble. They know that he's a big deal for the squad of Lithiuming here in game 1, and they just collapse and get the kill.
Big stun there by Earthshaker. That was clutch. It was close.
Sleep wearing off. But he hits it. So, ooh, that's a lasso. Lasso catches Pugna.
Should die.
Pugna is indeed dead, but now Brood sending in the army. That's at least a dead Wyvern. That should be it, though. So 1 for 1. Top lane, there is some pressure coming out. Drow, they're able to push the top tower up here. She is level 7 now as well.
I like what they're doing. They're playing Ogre with the Drow. This Wyvern and Bat are kind of playing together. They have kill potential. Shaker actually might fall here. Does he have a TP? Yeah, he does.
He does if it comes to it, and he's just going to use it right there. course, Lasso on cooldown. He knows that. Gets away. Yeah, so as impressive a performance that was from Thompson early on with the CS. You know, he's died twice since then. 0-3-0, and his farm is, it's not getting crazy. He's still second in the game, but Brood is definitely doing what we expected her to do. Of being top farm right now. Has a defusal already, in fact.
KZoo is closing up on his blink. He's about 300 away. Once he gets his blink dagger, he's going to look into pressuring, most likely with the Morphling, because Morphling does a lot of DPS right now. Just level 10. He has a full adaptive strike skilled up.
Ogre. Exu, you're probably dead. Meet the spider army, just in case the vision block sends in the adaptive strike one of the spiderlings.
Try to hit the hero. It's pretty hard to click on him with
It can be difficult.
million spiders on top of you.
She is the biggest, but it's still clicking around sometimes. Pretty annoying. Either way, I wasn't going to save the ogre, of course. You mentioned the blink, though. Almost there. Oh, this would be a perfect timing for a kill on Batrider. Look at this very aggressive ward. This is going to allow for this kill.
Wow.
Yeah, they're just moving around the map as a team.
It's only 100 gold away from blink initially.
Yeah.
But it sets him back a little bit more, though. It's 300 gold away. Fortunately, he really needs his blink dagger, and I think his priority might just look into killing this Broodmother, slowing down his game a little bit. From here, I mean, they have 3 strong tower pushers from Gambit.
Drow, Drow cancels the TP. Drow was coming in thinking that maybe they were looking to dive the tower. Brood was showing a little bit, but ends up canceling and staying top.
I mean, Drow's job or objective this game is just constantly trying to push these lanes out and just trying to farm. He doesn't want to join these team fights. He honestly doesn't want to do it. He just wants to hit creeps and push lanes in. That's his job this game, and he has to ultimately hope for his team. Because, I mean, what he's doing is providing...
He morphs into Bane, but yeah, Pugna here, he did not expect that. The Echo Slam to help finish the job just in case. To take him out. You do not want to take any chances, especially on the Morphling.
Yeah, but I mean, like what I was saying is like Drow's purpose and his thing this game is just constantly pushing up those lanes, is getting as much farm as he can, and letting his team like kind of make work and make space kind of for him. But at the same time, the way that he's providing his usefulness is the precision aura, and you know, using it when it's the most optimal to push in the lanes. That's all his job is, just constantly trying to push in the lanes. And of course, hitting some neutrals, but that's not really doing a job. That's just farming. Right?
Yeah. And they've already done that with the top tier 1, as we mentioned, but they are down in towers despite that. They are down 2-1. Obviously, with the middle and bottom being taken out in favor of Gambit so far.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is, I think Lithium definitely needs a jungle ward of some sort. Actually, they do have one.
They have a couple down here, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's 2 wards, huh?
Very defensive deep ward, yeah.
I think they need to be a little bit more aggressive because the rune one is better, the bounty runes, because that's where you can see where this TB is constantly playing. And overall, it's still good. They know if I mean, it's still better than nothing. They do have a jungle ward, but what Terrorblade's going to do is just constantly going to use his illusions to push out this bottom lane, and just I feel like Gambit's just going to snowball because they're getting much more net worth. They have much more map control. As you can see, they're farming not only their own jungle, but they're farming their jungle as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and even Pugna is Aphanine. He's stepped up. He's basically tied with Morphling when it comes to net worth.
So Batrider is hitting his timing. Smoke being bought by Bane, wrong team. But Blink Dagger is picked up by KZoo, and he is immediately, you know, he TP'd back. He had quite a couple hundred mana still, but he knows he doesn't want to farm anymore. He needs to make space for his team.
Oh wow! Maybe next time does get away.
Firefly is up now. So essentially or ideally, you want to look for a lasso on a core here.
There's that smoke.
Yeah.
Wyvern.
He's going to look for Brood.
Oh, they're going over here.
Blue. KZoo, Captain KZoo drew the circle around Brood, knowing exactly where he's at right now.
Do they have the vision of Brood? They don't have Brood vision just yet. They see it. They see now. They need to go. Oh, he was just a little late to react. He definitely had a second there.
Yeah, he could have ulted for sure, but there is a ward on them, so Ogre pings it out.
Okay.
I don't know where it's at.
We're just steps over here. Now KZ is going to jump on his own Ancients. They don't see him. Again, could just go for the guess. Sees now with the Firefly. Needs to get in. Gets the lasso, right target. That would have been awkward. And they are going to successfully get this kill. I'm guessing. Gust away, yes. Insatiable Hunger made it close, but...
I mean, it would be funny if he lassoed creeps his spiderlings, but at the same time it's not, because it was a... You can kind of see it was kind of hard, but then he saw this one opening where like he missed microed his spiderlings where they kind of opened up.
Yeah.
But when they're all on top of him, it's pretty hard to collect.
So I was going to say, that was the one thing that could have made that awkward. As Thompson goes down elsewhere. He goes into the bottom lane of Terribly, 1 versus 1. And Terribly wins that battle. Middle lane Pugna's dead. Was there somebody else? Okay.
Oh no, that'd be crazy. But.
Oh yeah, I mean Terribly did most of the damage, but yeah, sleep in a Fiend's Grip, of course.
How do you open that?
Dota Plus. You have Dota Plus, right? Okay, it's a death summary. You click on the hero that's dead, and there should be a death summary right above their head.
Oh, cool.
I honestly haven't been using it for the longest time, but just this week, for whatever reason, it's hit me. It's like, that's a pretty good tool to make sure, especially when you miss a kill on camera, which I tend to do frequently. So, get an idea of what happened.
Shaker also picked up his blink, 16 minutes. They're smoking, immediately looking for a play. You know, like I said, generally when you want to get your core items like this, initiation items, you always want to look to pressuring them and looking for a core kill. They want to kill this Drow. And Batrider. Oh man, they can go for a big play here. Big Echo. I'm feeling it.
Madara might be feeling it soon too. King R. Ooh. Unable. He tried.
Sorry.
It's the effort that counts.
Party horn.
Party horn necessary.
He tried his best, man.
He did.
That's all that matters at the end of the day.
Hey, it's the Thompson Brood. That looks weird. I don't know, something about that.
Oh yeah.
I saw like 2 spires. I had to be
like, that's why it's like we can't beat them, join them, man.
Exactly. That's kind of an interesting idea, taking over Brood.
Double smoke here. Another smoke by Lithium. Can be good. They get a good kill around Roshan. They can kill it quickly with this Drow Aura, Bloodlust. KZ sees Pugna. It's kind of far from his team, though.
It is, yeah. They can't get there as easily. Or maybe they can't wait for him, and then Arctic Burn, and it is enough.
Winter Curse?
The rest are going to run. No curses.
Purple, Madara immediately pinging Roche, so great smoke. They definitely did want to get a kill around Roshan, and they just opens up this potential for them. They might know it, though.
Hey, well, Batrider's coming in. Obviously, no lasso now.
They're unsure. There's Echo is up.
I think that's definitely going to come into play here. Madara already at half life currently. They are full committed to this. Afterlife jumps in, gets gusted. Madara's low though. Finally, Roche goes down. Thompson picks it up. And now Thompson looking to make some plays with it. Fiend's Grip locking him down this whole time from the uphill over here on their side. Now, Vansker's dead though as a result. So a little bit awkward with that Fiend's Grip. Nothing really came of it. Tech suit picked off by Doxak, but bottom tower is being pressured during this. The creep wave down here.
Echo used.
Oh, he might survive here. TP's out. They kill Thompson. Wyvern dead. Thompson having to run. So, yeah, the Echo Slam helps to finish him off.
So the initial grip, Earthshaker was contemplating whether or not he should Echo because he was like, oh crap, he has an egg. He wanted to run in, he had his Blink Dagger, and then he was like, you know what, I'm just going to run back here because I'm looking for a bigger Echo. I didn't want to just blow my ulti on this Aegis Morphling. But in the end, he ended up using it. He did eliminate his Aegis. Terrorblade had really good positioning that fight. He was able to get a lot of DPS throughout the fights and even killing Winter Wyvern too. But, I mean, overall, I think it was still okay for Lithium. It was the best that they can do given their situation and circumstances right now. Good smoke leading into a Roshan. They didn't really lose much. Of course, they lost their Aegis. They lost their Winter Wyvern, but... You know, they know Echo is down now, so they can still continue looking into pressure. They have a low cooldown lineup here, where they just constantly play around. Whenever lasso's up, they're gonna constantly make a play.
Dire team trying to make a play as the sleep hit Drow initially. This sentry allowed the Nasir, by the way. She has a Shadow Blade. She was just running around, and Bane happened to find her next to the sentry. They get the free kill.
Kizu immediately drawing lines. It's like you can see how active he is as a player. Like he needs to constantly be active on his hero. He cannot sit back and farm. That's gonna be Drow and Morphling's job constantly.
Middle curse hits. They want Brood. There are supports nearby, though. This is not going to be a free kill. Thompson coming in trying to finish the job, will do so. And maybe it was a bit more free than I thought it was. Thompson, however, he goes down. Hot in the middle there. His illusion. Oh, that's what it was. They put the Cold Embrace on the illusion, unfortunately.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, he morphed into Terror Blade. He spawned an illusion. And the Cold Embrace hit the illusion. Either way, Batrider gets taken out. As well, Pexu's on the run, not for long though. Nether Blast hits.
The reaction timing by Gambit being at the right place at the right time really paid off for them. Otherwise, that would have been a really nice kill. But you know, they fortunately some misspell usages happen, and
this Terror Blade is getting out of hand quickly.
Yeah, BKB is pretty much the space maker of this game. Terror Blade is the real, of course. MVP. Scotty's almost finished on it. Whoa, holy crap.
Yeah, he's going Manta straight into Scotty.
He's the highest net worth, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He is taking over this game big time.
Yeah.
More than 3,000 net worth higher than anyone on the Radiant side. And then, of course, his teammate and Broodmother's close to him.
I mean, the unfortunate side is, like, you know, he wasn't being pressured in this top lane. Like, the reason why Batriders picked, especially against the Terror Blade, they didn't have any strong saves aside from Bane. Bane shouldn't be capable of saving this Terror Blade, but I didn't really see what happened on top lane, and because of that, you know, I was watching their CS, and he was even in CS, and right when he got enough levels and some items, he just effectively just farmed the jungle, and
very good scan right there. It actually hits Lithium as they're smoking. Obviously, Gambit doesn't necessarily know that, but it did hit for a while.
That was their last smoke.
Time being. Yeah.
I'm not sure if they really needed to smoke because, you know, Gambit's been, I mean, obviously we can see the whole map, but for the most part, Gambit's been playing on the bottom side of the map where you should know it's kind of dangerous, and that's where you would need to smoke, if anything. But running top, I think you're able to run there freely because it's kind of obvious where they're playing at this moment in the game. But, I mean, overall, they still might be able to take a tier 2 here on top lane.
This ward, this very deep ward plays, is going to allow for this easy Wyvern kill as well.
Yeah, it's the buyback, which he needs to.
Help defend against the meta pop. Now these are illusions, of course, pushing.
Lithium, or Gambit's actually really stepping up their game here. You know, they're like, oh, you guys have been clowning us for using VP stand-ins and stuff. Morphling dead again.
He's dead, yeah. That's Vansker setting up the Fiend's Grip. They're also going to kill the Drow on top of that. So you thought Lithium was like, well, at least we'll maybe trade a tower right here, but Gambit not letting them at all. They TP in, they crush them, and then they, you know, continue to push out. And I agree with you. This is the best that we've seen Gambit, honestly.
Yeah, and I thought, you know, they had fantastic stand-ins and all that.
Yeah.
And we thought people were saying it's unfair, but look at them now. Afro Ninja.
Afro Ninja.
Afro Ninja really stepping it up here. It's just the team chemistry, you know.
Exactly. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, it's one thing to have a, you know, again, we see it on the other side with Thompson. Obviously, he's a great player, and I'm sure he's played with these guys before in pubs and everything. But I would not be surprised if Mage happens to be around, because, like I said, going into this game, they thought they were going to have Mage. Apparently, he was just AFK. They couldn't get a hold of him. If he happens to show up, I would not be surprised if Mage steps in, obviously, for game 2. Like, not that he's a better player, it's just simply he's been playing with the team lately. And more consistently. Top lane, they are going to kill Pugna, but Drow? Trouble. Sleep. Will be fine in the end. Thompson TPing in as well. He got Bane, but
free tower. It's worth it. That was worth it.
Yeah.
You see where everyone from Lithium is at. You see 5 heroes actually, because Ogre's showing mid. And you end up getting the tower as well. So, I mean, I don't think his death was all that bad. You get a tier 1 out of it. Man, space death. See, that's why Afro Ninja's here.
Doing a hell of a job on that Pugna, but more so Terrorblade Docksock. He is unstoppable, really. I mean, he's going to have a butterfly very soon on top of the Scotty and the Manta style.
He gets the lasso on the Earthshaker. I mean, the issue of this game is...
he got killed with a neutral.
The issue of this game is, like, you realize ex-ferzee or Gambit, it's like, as soon as lasso is used, they're not scared anymore. They have no fear factor. I mean, yeah, you have a Winter... I mean, I guess Winter Wyvern, you got to split your illusions because we've seen it before. Maybe not the Manta illusions, but your Conjure images, when you use those and you get a good Winter Curse, like, TV will die.
Yeah.
We've seen it before with the bonus attack speed and all that, but as long as he's able to split his illusions, like they shouldn't feel any pressure whatsoever. It alleviates an immense amount of pressure towards them, and they're able to play aggressively, and they shouldn't like. The only real catch, like I said, is just it's purely this Bat Rider and Winter Wyvern, but the Winter Wyvern, the only real DPS is all Terrorblade here. As Brood Mother, I don't think you should worry too much about it.
Well, so the Bat Rider, again, there's reasons why it made sense as a pick for sure, but using that very important lasso cooldown on a kill such as that Earthshaker, it's in a sense it almost helps Gambit as you're getting at, because now they realize that's on cooldown. The cores are like, oh wait, we have freedom now to not have to worry about set ability. Now it's not the longest cooldown; it's only 80 seconds. It goes down to 60 at level 3, but
it's up again now. I mean, unfortunately, they didn't really get anything out of it. They did want Roshan; they were constantly checking it. It's still down. But the next play for both teams is essentially they want to get wards, get map vision, get map control all over top area. You can see KZU already drawing the circle. This is where they're likely to play, and probably where this is all warded right now. And that's what they should do, because whoever gets this next Roshan, it's just high ground for them. And then Lithium gets it, they can prolong the game and delay the game a little bit. You know, like I said, it's a really hard draw game for them.
What do you think about Thompson not going the shotgun build? Because to me, you're dealing with Terrorblade, that massive armor especially. It almost feels like they could use that match.
I mean, what he's probably thinking right now is he wants to probably steal images from or morph into this Terrorblade, get his meta, and then just be the Terrorblade himself, and he's going to dish out just as much damage. And he's going to have in hindsight, he's going to have 2 lives, right? And I guess he's actually going back for that blade. It's still good either way. I mean, it's just, I think, player preference.
That is fair, though, with the Manta build.
The burst is probably more deal, because he's also going DPS because there's a Drow Ranger, too. You got to put that perspective. So he's going to be dishing out a lot more damage.
He did go the morph duration on top of that, so yeah, he really is built around I take over Terrorblade and
you can see his
better.
2 illusions mid right now from morph.
It looks hilarious, like the morphling size on him. They're going to be killed off there, but that's the idea. Butterfly's already finished on Terrorblade. Yeah, it's already finished, and then Broodmother just about has hers too. So they're going to have double Butterfly on the side of Gambit.
Why did he use meta?
Did he use it?
No.
Oh, he did
Well,
not.
I guess there's no point, because in case you need to steal it again 60 seconds, he doesn't want that meta to be on cooldown. Got it.
Is that so? That's how it works. I was actually wondering about that.
No, that'd be broken, man. If it's
so
like
if you could just keep taking it over, and despite a massive cooldown. Because that's one of the only heroes where that really matters, right? Because a lot of these other normal abilities are 150 seconds or whatever.
Yeah. That's why he's a TI player, not me. Wait, actually, that's why he's a TI8 winner.
Winner, yeah, that's the key there.
Too early in the morning, man.
The go-to. Drow, MKB being queued up, not surprising when you're dealing with a double Butterfly.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
On the other team. Dagon finished on Pugna. He's had that for a little bit, though. He's got more queued up, but, you know, there's a lot of farm being taken by his teammates, both Brood and Terrorblade.
They notice Roche is up now. I like this build on Terrorblade. He's going for Linken's next, and I think Broodmother should do the same after his Butterfly.
Specifically with the, Lasso, obviously, yeah, the big thing, and the Curse even. Yeah, these big abilities. To prevent.
Oh. They're going to wait. Like, Firefly's going to be down, and they're going to look for a fight. They're going to be able to scout out with the illusion, see what they're doing. Top lane is pushing in. Top lane, not top sun.
Top sun heading over to top lane. They're farm along the way.
I wonder how he came up with this name. It's always interesting, right?
Got the histories, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, Bat Rider's lasso is, not lasso, his Firefly is down for a little bit, so that gives them an opportunity to get Roche a little bit lower, but when that cooldown's up, they should back off. They're just getting it low and just kind of like go back and forth, cat and mouse here.
Bat Rider, he's checking it out. Getting an idea of how low Roshan is. Not the lowest yet. It's, again,
This Terrorblade feels good because they feel like they can't... Oh, he gets a double damage as well, 30 minutes. KZU going to go for the big steal here.
Here we go. Maybe next time jumping in. Throws the curse on the Terrorblade, but Bat Rider got jumped by King R on the back lines. The Echo Slam is used. Terrorblade going to get the kill on Roshan. Picks up the Aegis as well. Now the meta comes out, and Thompson went too deep. He's dead for 65. He tried to make the big play with a steal. He was just too damn late. I think King R was the MVP, though. He stops the Bat Rider, which was the biggest threat, no doubt, for jumping in.
Immediately, Madara realizes what's going on. He tries to cut the wave, but unfortunately they have a siege in mid, so it does not matter at all. He's gonna just probably finish his MKB here. I think you kind of ignore your buyback. You need to try to dish out as much damage as you can to this butterfly TB. Otherwise, doesn't really have any damage actually.
Yeah.
Level 18 on Drow now too.
They cannot deal with this Terrorblade right now until at least that MKB, as you mentioned. The damage just does not feel good enough. Maybe with the Big Witch's Curse with the Brew nearby, supposedly, or apparently, but that's going to be dead. Madara, maybe. Cold Embrace saves initially, not enough. He's definitely 65. There's a lasso on an Earthshaker, though, so he's already used Echo, not the prime target, really.
Let's see if the top set can pull some OG magic. He's reviving now.
Up in a couple seconds. Do what they did against LGD in the Winter Finals. Okay, probably not the same level here, but a little bit different stage.
Yeah. You're just kind of anticipating Gambit to really throw this game here, if anything.
Thompson takes over Pugna. He puts his own Netherward down. The Battle of the Netherwards. Oh, this is going to go down, though.
You just need some overextensions here by Gambit. The Gambit playing pretty conservative and safe here. Just hitting towers, no need to dive.
No meta up, of course, for Doc. Still another minute, but he still does plenty without it. That should at least be a melee rack skill bottom. Multiple buybacks already used by Lithium for this. And they still don't even defend the bottom set of racks. So that's 2 sets of racks taken out after the Aegis pickup.
Morphling going back for his Scotty pickup as well instead of the Eth Blade. He realizes he just wants to do more of this like late game kind of carry build and more right click.
Just needs to be the Terrorblade better. But it's,
I feel the shotgun actually might be pretty good.
Yeah.
Because you can actually burst down this TB after a few right clicks. But then again, Lincoln's is picked up with his Aegis now, so it's pretty hard. Illusion picked up as well.
That's like probably the best rune on this guy, huh?
Yeah.
Other than double damage, but
yeah, he has
50 armor, by the way. That's insane.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
That's not unreal, man. You just need an
50
ET, man. You can remove it immediately.
Well, yeah, it's pause the game. Be like, we're gonna substitute a hero. Could you imagine? That'd be a fun.
Lasso.
Route almost dies off the bat to that Dagon, and Afterlife just walks right up and auto attacks once. Kazer's in an awkward spot. I mean, this is just out of hand now. Okay, well, they're going to kill Bane, but that doesn't matter.
It's game, I think.
Yeah, no, it feels like it is. I mean, Morphling, being able to morph into Terrorblade is not, but he's morphing a Pugna here, so it's not, he's not even getting the chances, it feels like.
I was just miscalculating a little bit in the mid lane. Like, this doesn't matter how strong this Morphling gets, but, you know, Gambit eventually is going to get this timing.
Shaker jumps in, Thompson buys back immediately. He's the one that got melted right there. They're just diving the fountain. They're feeling good about it, as they frankly should be. The reflection comes out. Thompson, can they kill the TI winner? He's still alive a little bit longer. Out comes the crab for the Nether Blast to finish the job. That should do it. GG, well played.
It wasn't even morphing in the fountain. What the heck?
I mean, it was over. It was over.
It's cool though, you know? Survive.
Gambit, this is again the cleanest we've seen them, honestly. That was very well played by them.
I mean, their lineup, they just honestly, they hit their timing. They have 3 strong tower pushers here with the TB, Broodmother, and Pugna here. I felt like they kind of won all 3 lanes.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Afterlife had a little bit of a rough start. He wasn't able to lane, but he realized like he's not going to be able to see us anymore. Let me just jungle. Once I build up my army, I'm level 5. I can start pressuring this. Morphling, and exactly what he did. And you know, Morphling, as farmed as he was unable to give a real answer to these Broodlings. And I think the best thing that they could have done was just kind of sack this top lane, just let this Bat Rider free farm the lane, move over the Winter Wyvern mid, and just kind of delay the game. And
yeah,
you know, I think, you know, they played the best they could, especially in the mid lane. Bottom lane was a little pressure. I mean, I felt, and then Terrorblade, I feel like he didn't have any pressure onto him at all. Yeah, I mean, of course he had some pressure, but as much harassment as Bat did to the TB, you can see they were still even in CS, and Terrorblade was always higher, if not the same net worth as everyone else. So
we got the graphs too. It was a little bit of hope early on for Lithium, but It really wasn't in the end, in the long run. So, you know, a hero that was coming to mind, now it might not matter for the next game either, but KSU does play a bit of Darkseer. And still, I know he's picked it up even recently with the team. And I kind of feel like, you know, looking back, how that would have been an interesting pick, especially against the Terrorblade and everything. But that's hindsight, not the case there with Bad Rider.
Terrorblade, it's a weird thing. It just kind of comes down to the support role next.
Yeah.
I mean, it does do pretty good versus Terrorblade.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think the support on both sides matter a lot on who can pressure who. And it's just like Terrorblade can farm against Darkseer, but at the same time, Darkseer can pressure TB pretty well, too.
Yeah. Either way, it's a Game 1 victory for Gambit Esports over Lithium. They looks pretty good, but we'll see what's going on here. Obviously, again, they made a point. Mage just didn't show up for Game 1. You know, maybe he is back. May step in, you know, back as being the mid for the team after all. But we'll see what happens there, as well as how they go into game number 2. But when it comes down to a game, it looks good, and we'll see how they do going forward. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by DeMoN here. GG.Bet Invitational will continue shortly.